Hey, good morning, everybody. We are back here at Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center for your good health. Now, sometimes cancer seems to run in a family. Well, there may be an inherited factor that increases the risk of family members developing cancer in their lifetime. So for those, a genetic consultation is recommended. So with me this morning is Catherine Clayback, who is a genetic counselor with Roswell Park's Clinical Genetics Services. So good morning, Catherine. Nice to have you here.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Catherine, can you talk about the all-important BRCA gene and the importance of being tested for it?
Yeah, and I think these BRCA genes, these BRCA genes, are kind of what we hear the most about in the world of genetics. And so a lot of people that we meet with, they come in with that gene on their mind. One of my big points to say is it's genes that everyone has. Men, women, you have them, I have them. And really the BRCA genes and other genes, they're there to help protect our bodies against a cancer. So what our technology is looking for, are there any genetic changes within that gene? We call those mutations. It's any of these mutations that really can then cause that increased risk to develop a cancer.
Okay, so then who is eligible for genetic testing, and should everybody be tested?
That's a good question. Our thought is that only a small percentage of all cancers have these single underlying genetic factors, maybe somewhere around 5 to 10%. And so typically who we're looking for are people who meet certain criteria, who have certain red flags. Things like young ages of diagnosis or multiple similar and related types of cancers on one side of the family. So kind of circling back to those BRCA genes, breast and ovarian cancer. But we can see other cancers as well, like colon and uterine cancer.
If that is recommended, can you take that test here?
You can, and so what we do is we typically meet with people one-on-one to look at your history and your family history to help facilitate that testing.
Okay, let's just say you take the test. What is it, does it consist of?
Yeah, so it's a blood draw. We typically take about 2 small tubes of blood, and that's what's sent off to the testing lab.
All right, and how long does that take to come back?
Typically we say about 4 weeks. Sometimes if it gets held up in insurance, a little longer, or if there's treatments pending, we try to rush it along.
Catherine, if I have this mutation, does it mean that I'll definitely get cancer?
So no. Typically what we're looking for is your risk any higher than the average person walking up and down the street? So even if we identify one of these mutations, it doesn't mean that you currently have or ever will have a cancer. We just deal with that increased risk.
Do we have any idea of how many people actually will have the BRCA gene and a mutation for those who present with cancer?
That's a good question. So the thought is somewhere around 5 to 10% will carry one of these mutations. I think those BRCA genes get the most attention, but we know that there are multiple genes out there. So for people who have had past BRCA testing, if they haven't looked wider, we can do that as well.
Thanks, Catherine.
Yeah.
Don't wonder and wait. The experts are here to help you at Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center. Call 1-800-ROSWELL or log on to roswellpark.org/genetic screening today.